Anton Chekhov, The Steed and the Quivering Hind. It is 3 o'clock in the morning. The Fibrovs, husband and wife, are awake. He tosses and turns from side to side, spitting every now and then. She, a small, slender brunette, lies motionless, staring pensively at the open window, where the dawn looks in, lonely and grim. "Can't sleep," she sighs. "Do you feel sick?" "Yes, a little." "I don't understand, Vasya, how you don't grow tired of coming home in such a state every day. Not a night goes by without you being ill. It's shameful." "Well, forgive me. It wasn't intentional. I had a bottle of beer at the editorial office, and then I overdid it a bit at the Arcadia. Forgive me." "What is there to forgive? You should find it disgusting and repulsive yourself. Spitting, hiccuping. Heaven knows what you look like. And it's every night, every single night. I can't remember the last time you came home sober. I don't want to drink, but it just happens. This job is cursed. You spend the whole day prowling around the city. You have a glass here, a beer there, and then, look, you run into a drinking companion. You can't refuse. And sometimes you can't even get information without sharing a bottle of vodka with some pig. Today, for example, I couldn't help but drink with the agent at the fire. Yes, a cursed job," the brunette sighs. "You should quit it, Vasya." "Quit? How is that possible?" "It is very possible. If only you were a real writer, writing good poetry or stories, but you are just some reporter, writing about thefts and fires. You write such trifles that sometimes it's embarrassing to even read them. It might be fine if you earned a lot, say, 200 or 300 rubles a month, but you get some miserable 50 rubles, and even that is paid irregularly. We live poorly, in filth. The apartment smells of the laundry, surrounded by laborious and loose women. All day long, all you hear are indecent words and songs. We have no furniture, no linens. You are dressed indecently, poorly, even the landlady treats you with contempt. I am worse off than any dressmaker. We eat worse than de laboris. You eat some garbage in taverns, and likely not even on your own account, while God only knows what I eat. If we were commoners, uneducated, I would settle for this life. But you are a nobleman, a university graduate, you speak French. I graduated from the institute, I was pampered. Wait, Katyusha, when they invite me to lead the local news section at the night blindness, then we shall live differently. I'll take a proper room then. You've been promising me that for 3 years. And what's the use if they do invite you? No matter how much you receive, you'll drink it all away. You won't stop keeping company with your writers and actors. And you know what, Vasya? I should write to Uncle Dmitri Fyodorovich in Tula. He would find you a wonderful position somewhere in a bank or a government office. Wouldn't that be good, Vasya? You would go to work like a normal person, receive your salary every 20th day, and have no worries. We would rent a small private house with a yard, barns, and a hayloft. You can rent an excellent house there for 200 rubles a year. We'd buy furniture, dishes, tablecloths, hire a cook, and have dinner every day. You would come home from work at 3 o'clock, look at the table, and see clean settings, radishes, various appetizers. We'd keep chickens, ducks, pigeons, and buy a cow. In the provinces, if you don't live luxuriously and don't drink, you can have all this for 1,000 rubles a year. And our children wouldn't die from the dampness, as they do now, and I wouldn't have to drag myself to the hospital all the time. Vasya, I pray to God, let's go live in the provinces. You'd die of boredom there among the savages. And is it fun here? We have no society, no acquaintances. You only have business connections with decent people, but you aren't close with anyone socially. Who visits us? Well, who? That Cleopatra Sergeyevna. To you, she is a celebrity who writes music columns, but to me, she is a kept woman, a loose woman. Is it proper for a woman to drink vodka and take off her corset in front of men? She writes articles, talks constantly about honesty, but since she borrowed a ruble from me last year, she still hasn't paid it back. Then, there's that favorite poet of yours who visits. You're proud to know such a celebrity, but judge for yourself, is he worth it? He is a most honest man, but there is very little fun in him. He comes to us only to get drunk. He drinks and tells indecent jokes. The day before yesterday, for example, he got plastered and slept right here on the floor all night. And the actors. When I was a young girl, I idolized those celebrities, but since I married you, I cannot even look at a theater with indifference. They are always drunk, rude, they do not know how to behave in the company of women, they are arrogant, and they walk around in filthy top boots. Terribly difficult people. I do not understand what fun you find in their jokes, which they tell with loud, coarse laughter, and you look at them so subserviently, as if these celebrities are doing you a favor just by knowing you. Phew. Drop it, please. But there, in the provinces, we would be visited by officials, gymnasium teachers, officers. They are all well-bred, gentle people without pretensions. They would drink their tea, have a glass of something if you offered it, and then leave. No noise, no crude jokes, everything would be so dignified and delicate. They sit, you know, in armchairs and on the sofa, discussing various things, while a maid carries around tea with jam and crackers. After tea, they play the piano, they sing, they dance. It would be so good, Vaja. Around 11 o'clock, a light snack, sausage, cheese, roast meat left over from dinner. After supper, you go to escort the ladies home, and I stay behind to tidy up. It sounds boring, Katyusha. If it is boring at home, then go to the club or for a stroll. Here, during a stroll, you won't meet a single familiar soul, so you start drinking out of necessity. But there, everyone you meet is an acquaintance. You can talk to whomever you like. Teachers, lawyers, doctors, there is someone to share an intelligent word with. People are very interested in the educated there, Vaja. You would be one of the most prominent men. And Katyusha dreams aloud for a long time. The leaden-grey light outside the window gradually turns white. The silence of the night imperceptibly gives way to the morning bustle. The reporter does not sleep. He listens and occasionally lifts his heavy head to spit. Suddenly, unexpectedly for Katyusha, he makes a sharp movement and jumps out of bed. His face is pale, and there is sweat on his forehead. I feel terribly sick, he interrupts Katyusha's daydreaming. Wait, I'll be right back. Throwing a blanket over his shoulders, he quickly runs out of the room. A localized unpleasantness occurs, one so familiar to drinking men during their morning hours. 2 minutes later, he returns pale and languid. He staggers. On his face is an expression of loathing, despair, almost horror, as if he has only just realized the utter outward ugliness of his existence. The daylight illuminates the poverty and filth of his room, and the expression of hopelessness on his face becomes even more vivid. Katyusha, write to your uncle, he mutters. Yes. You agree, the brunette triumphs. I shall write tomorrow, and I give you my word of honor that you will get an excellent position. Vaja, you're not joking? Katyusha, I beg you, for God's sake. And Katyusha begins to dream aloud again. To the sound of her own voice, she falls asleep. She dreams of a small private house, a yard where her own chickens and ducks walk with dignity. She sees pigeons looking at her from the attic window and hears a cow lowing. Everything around is quiet. No neighboring tenants, no coarse laughter, not even the sound of that hated, hurrying scratching of pens is heard. Vaja walks solemnly and nobly past the garden fence toward the gate. He is going to work. And her soul is filled with a sense of peace, when one desires nothing and thinks of little. By noon, she wakes up in an excellent mood. Sleep has had a beneficial effect on her. Then, rubbing her eyes, she looks at the spot where Vaja was tossing so recently, and the sense of joy that had embraced her drops away like a heavy lead bullet. Vaja has gone out, only to return late at night in a drunken state, just as he returned yesterday, the day before, always. Again she will dream, and again loathing will flicker across his face. There is no point in writing to uncle, she sighs.